Yeah, Richie Rich here. You deserve to be free. So, I'm going to talk today about a little history of myself. I'm going to talk about what I've been doing and how I'm being leading my life as free as possible. I don't like being conformed or restricted or being told what to do all the time. I will take input from people, whether it's family or friends or society or certain media. But I just don't really, how can I say, I kind of call my own shots if it feels good and I think I'm not going to hurt anyone or take advantage of anyone. That's the way I look at it. So anyway, this happened, 2016, I think. I decided I was in a marriage. I had 3 kids at the time. And how can I say? I just, things weren't going well for me. The marriage wasn't the way I wanted it to be. I wasn't happy at the time. So I decided, I was speaking with another coach at the time, but he kind of agreed. Either you stay where you are, or you need to. If you don't, well, basically, he said, and I totally agree. Is that you keep doing the same thing over again, or if you don't change now, when is it going to change? Where are you going to see yourself in 5 years if you don't change now, or a year from now? That was in 2016. So I decided to basically, it was a tough decision. Yeah, it was a tough decision. You know, left the ex-wife, my kids at home with her, and actually I had 3 kids, but the one was out working, and the other 2 were still at home. So it was not a joyful time when I left. For sure for me, because you have all those, you can have those feelings come up of negativity, and a lot of people don't agree with what you did. Like family, friends, especially friends, and other family just really didn't accept it, or some accepted it but didn't really show it. Unfortunately, and because everybody has their preconceived conditions of what you should be doing with your life. It's the same thing. Like everybody says you're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have kids, you're supposed to have a mortgage, and sorry about that noise. And I just didn't fit the mold, and it was just. It just got pause that little noise that's going on here. But it wasn't good at the time. I wasn't in a good place emotionally or happy, and my marriage was very dull. And I'm not going to say it's like it takes 2 to make a marriage work. So, and basically, I had my faults too, so I decided, no, I'm going to move on. And that's when I decided to go to, I shouldn't say that's when I decided to. I left. I moved in with a relative. I actually moved in with my mom. Fortunately, she had lots of room. And I was there for about, 6 months, maybe a little more than 6 months. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think it was a little more than 6 months, and I had to decide what I wanted to do. And I was really tired of the, how can I say it, the same old job that I had for the longest time. It was an okay company, don't get me wrong. I didn't mind the work; it was okay. But I was still looking. I was still looking, but it's a seasonal job. So the season, I said 6 months, but the season actually ended in November. Usually ends around November. So I decided, because obviously I was at my mom's, and then I decided, hey, I need to change her. And I didn't want to stay with my mom. Mind you, my mom did have at the farmhouse, she did have at the farmhouse had the She had 3 apartments she was renting out. She converted the big farmhouse into 3 apartments, three big apartments, and she was in the main apartment, and then there was 2 smaller ones. So I was tempted on going in there at that time, but I decided not to. I decided to go to Vietnam, and so that's what I did. That was in 2016, going into 2017. So I got on a plane, and well, before I did that, how I found I'll back up a bit. How I found why I went, how I decided to go to Vietnam. So I kind of looking for. I always wanted to get into a relationship again. Maybe I didn't really want to go into the Western women at the time. So I kind of like the Asian look, so that's the way I looked towards that end of it. But that was the main thing. The main thing was just doing some research on teaching English. And then there's schools over there that teach you how to teach English for 4 weeks. It's a 4-week program, and you get your TESOL course, which is teaching English second language. And then you have a theory, and you got practical, and yeah, it was what I talked to the guy on Skype. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I decided to go. I purchased the course. Maybe it was a little more expensive than looking back. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. But for me, it was a stepping stone to get into Vietnam, because I didn't know. All of a sudden, I was going to be dropped off. If I just dropped off in Vietnam, I didn't know a soul. I didn't know how to where I was going to go, where I was going to stay, all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to get overseas to another country. I did look at China, but didn't really care for China at the time. I didn't really contemplate Cambodia. And I just did some research in Vietnam, and they were a growing country. Internet was good. Looking for a lot of teachers at the time. So that's what I did. I went there, and basically how can I say? I flew over there. The school put you in a hotel. I was picked up at the airport. They put me in a hotel. Bit of a culture shock at first, for sure. But then when I went to school for 4 weeks, I was around English people, and then we went out, and there was a Vietnamese person there as well. They took us to restaurants. Kind of got a foot, basically got into the school, into the culture of it. So yeah, that went pretty good, and got exposed to the culture really quickly, the good and the bad, but there wasn't too much bad. So yeah, I was met a couple of girls. Obviously at the end of 4 weeks, I had to decide where I was going to go. So there was an individual. There was a guy who was posting stuff in Vietnam on YouTube at the time, and he was living in Ho Chi Minh City. I should say I was in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon. And anyway, I just kind of, I hooked up. He was on YouTube. I sent him a message on YouTube. Hey, I'm in Vietnam, and he was quite open about it. He said, "Yeah, come on, I'll take you around." So I met him at a certain area. He was owned a building with his girlfriend at the time. Had an apartment. So, long story short, I rented an apartment from him. So, like I said, I rented an apartment from him, and we became really good friends. Yeah, even to this day, we're really good friends. Obviously, I'm still in Vietnam. He is too. But yeah, and just kind of got into the apartment, and just kind of got exposed, and we did things together. I was on a couple of dating apps, and I was doing some dating. And yeah, this is just for 6 months. So I went there from November, near the middle to end of November, and then came home in April think it was around mid-April I came home. Oh yeah, and that's one other thing. I should have a side note. Before I went there, I was working my job in September and got a hernia, so I had to have an operation quickly. I got an operation in October, and then I flew out. Didn't want that issue when I went to Vietnam, so anyway, I had that looked after, and then that's just a little bit of backstory before I went. So anyway, I came back to come back to Canada, back to my old job again, and that was that's where it was. So anyway, I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm going to post more on after that date. So this is kind of just a little bit of biography, what's going on, and how I stay free, or as the channel it's going to be called, You Deserve to Be Free, and what kind of mental processes I do. Basically, I don't really I take people's opinions and comments carefully, but at the end of the day, it's my decision. I'm not being coerced or told to, you gotta do this, or made feel guilty and everything else. So when you make your decisions, make sure you do that. When you make any type of decision, make sure it's coming from the heart, gut, and mind, but also don't be pressured into something from society. You get a lot of pressure from religious institutions, you get a lot of pressure from government, society, family, friends, because it's there's an old, it's kind of like, I tell my kids this too, is that it's when you put a bunch of crabs or lobsters in a bucket, and one tries to get out and the other ones keep dragging them back in. So I didn't want to be that. So anyway, I'm Richie Rich. You deserve to be free. And second of all, I got a book for sale. It's called Manifest What Loves You. So you got to know what loves you, so things come naturally to you. And if you want that, email me at courageousrich@gmail.com. I'm going to be posting this, and I'll probably do another quick little tidbit on TikTok. You ever see me on TikTok? So that's it. This video's gone long enough. It's about 12 minutes or so, 12, 13 minutes, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.